When people hear cholesterol, what comes to mind is bad fats. Interestingly, not all types of cholesterol is bad. Yes, there are different types of cholesterol. Yes, there is the bad cholesterol, which is called the LDL. Stay tuned for more on this. So many people are afraid of getting cholesterol. Interestingly, you already have cholesterol. Okay, what I mean by that is that cholesterol in itself isn't bad in the fact that it is in the body in form of lipids and in association with proteins to perform different functions in the body. So cholesterol is essential for our health and our overall well-being. I did a video on the 10 benefits, some of the benefits of cholesterol in our bodies. I'll drop the link in the description so that you can watch that. So this is a 2-in-1 video where I'll be telling you about the different types of cholesterol and then the risk factors, reason why an individual can develop high levels of cholesterol, especially the bad cholesterol. There are different types of cholesterol. Cholesterol isn't all bad. There is the good cholesterol, which is known as HDL, essential for the human body and for our overall functioning and well-being. Then the low density lipoprotein, which is the bad cholesterol, is what many people are afraid of, and that is what your physician tends to want to treat you for if you have high levels of LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. There is the third type, which is the triglycerides, which is also fat usually stored in the body when in excess. The total cholesterol is known and calculated as the good cholesterol plus bad cholesterol plus 20% of triglycerides. So when your doctor requests for cholesterol, these are the parameters that are being checked, including the very low density lipoprotein. The total cholesterol is calculated as good cholesterol, which is high density lipoprotein, plus the bad cholesterol, that is the low density lipoprotein, plus 20% of triglycerides. These parameters actually have normal values. Abnormal levels of cholesterol in the body puts an individual at risk of developing a heart attack and then the possibility of developing a stroke. So let's consider the appropriate levels, the normal levels of this cholesterol in the body. So for a heart healthy level, the total cholesterol should be under 200 milligrams per dl, while the low density cholesterol, as the bad cholesterol, should be under 100 milligrams per dl. Also, the HDL cholesterol should be about 60 or higher. But an individual with higher levels of total cholesterol, that is between 200 and 239 milligrams per dl, is at risk of developing cardiovascular events and possibility of developing a stroke. For the low density cholesterol, an individual with 100 to about 159 milligrams per dl is also at risk of developing heart-related events and a stroke. For males, actually, the HDL cholesterol should be between 40 to 59 milligrams per dl, while for female, it should be between 50 to 59 milligrams per dl. So what is dangerous? Total cholesterol from about 240 milligrams per dl and higher is dangerous for your health, while for the low density cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, from about 160 and higher, is not healthy. And when the HDL cholesterol, that is the good cholesterol, is less than 40 in a male, that is dangerous. Also, when the good cholesterol, the HDL, is less than 50 milligrams per dl, it is dangerous in the female. Usually, men are more at risk of developing abnormalities in the levels of cholesterol more than women, especially women in the reproductive age group or premenopausal period. However, when a woman is in the menopausal period, a woman has a higher risk of having abnormal cholesterol levels. Now that we have clarified the different types of cholesterol, the good and the bad, when an individual has a higher than normal level of total cholesterol, a higher than normal level of the bad cholesterol, that is LDL cholesterol, then the individual is at risk of certain medical conditions that are dangerous to the health of such an individual. So what puts an individual at a higher risk of developing abnormal cholesterol levels? Here are the different reasons why you as an individual can have abnormal cholesterol levels. Knowing this means that you need to put in measures to avoid these abnormal levels. The first point is the genetic factor. The genetic factor, that is a family history of abnormally high cholesterol levels, puts an individual at risk of having abnormalities in their cholesterol. Next is increasing age. As an individual increases in age, there's a tendency to develop abnormal cholesterol levels. Next, as I mentioned earlier, the sex factor, where for males, a male has the tendency to develop abnormal levels of cholesterol, especially males within the age bracket of the reproductive age group of the female and premenopausal period of the female. While after this reproductive period, during the menopausal period, a female has a higher risk of developing abnormal levels in their cholesterol. Smoking is also a factor that puts an individual at risk of developing abnormal levels of cholesterol. So smokers, if you are a smoker, you have an increased risk of developing higher levels and abnormal levels of cholesterol in your body. Alcohol drinking is another factor. Alcohol has also been implicated in the development of abnormal cholesterol levels. Unhealthy diets. People who have diets that are filled with a lot of fats and unhealthy meals and drinks are at risk of developing abnormal levels of cholesterol. Other risk factors for developing abnormal cholesterol levels include being overweight or being obese. Other medical conditions, comorbidities like high blood pressure or hypertension, diabetes, puts an individual at risk of developing abnormal levels of cholesterol. So that's it. Those are the types of cholesterol and the reasons why an individual may develop abnormal levels of cholesterol. So you, as an individual, need to watch this aspect. Of course, there are factors that are not modifiable, like the genetic factor, the age factor, the sex factor. However, you can modify your diet. You can also exercise, control your weight. You can avoid smoking. You can avoid smoking cigarettes. You can also avoid alcohol. Thank you for watching. I did a video on the benefits of cholesterol. Watch out for the video on how to reduce bad cholesterol. It promises to be enlightening.